Welcome to 5 at 5, and let's remember Ruben Neves right now, twice in the space of 2 weeks. Don't celebrate too hard, that guy must be crushed. Anyway, let's get into it. Number 1, and that is the character, resolve, determination, belief and constant pressure that Arsenal displayed yesterday against Wolves. And I think that is just encapsulated by one statistic. Since 2018, Wolves have taken the lead in 45 Premier League games, and on every single occasion, they have at least got something from the game. No team has managed in the last 45 games in which Wolves have taken the lead, no team have managed to overturn that and take the 3 points. And yesterday, Arsenal did that. That to me shows, listen, this was not a team where we could just expect to turn up and win after giving them that gift of a goal in the first half. Arsenal really had to earn this. There were some brilliant, really hard-working performances that we will come to later on in my 5 at 5. But I just want to point that out, that this Arsenal team, they are playing hard for that top 4 spot. We can see that in the way they applied themselves yesterday, and that statistic is not one to be ignored. This was against a team in Wolves that, especially now in the Bruno Lage, is very well drilled. Only Man City had conceded less goals than them before yesterday. I'm not sure about the goals conceded table after they conceded 2 against Arsenal. But this is a really well-drilled team, and what Arsenal did yesterday should not be underestimated. Big pressure game, being a game in hand against a team that would have gone above us in the league, albeit with us still retaining a game in hand over them, and we managed to do what teams have failed to do since 2018. Arsenal are here to get that top 4 spot. Fingers crossed we make it happen. Number 2, and I want to talk about 2 players, because earlier on I just mentioned that there were some brilliant, hard-working, good performances. And I think 2 players that really encapsulated that were Thomas Partey and Martin Ødegaard. Thomas Partey, especially in the second half, well look, instead of me doing the talking, take a look at this summary of his game by numbers from Squawka Football. An absolutely brilliant performance, and as I said, especially in the second half. Put in the comments below, do you think we are now finally seeing that Thomas Partey on a more consistent basis that we signed from Atletico and had so much hope for? And the second player that deserves a lot of credit from the game yesterday, come on, you've guessed it already, Martin Ødegaard. Martin Ødegaard yesterday was phenomenal. Everything that we did went through him, and not only was he brilliant on the ball, the stat that really needs to be paid attention to is that he covered more than 12 kilometers in the game yesterday. That's an incredible shift and shows he is not content to just limit the work that he's doing in the more attacking part of the pitch. He grafts. In fact, no Arsenal player has covered more ground in a Premier League game than what Martin Ødegaard did yesterday against Wolves. You have to hand it to him. Not only did he play that wonderful ball over the top for Nketiah to chase onto in the 82nd minute and give Pepe the assist, but also for the winner, he took that ball from Pepe when Pepe retrieved the overhit cross, and he played the pass into Lacazette and even played a part in that move. Everything we did went through Martin Ødegaard, and I think we're really starting to see that we got a brilliant deal when we signed him in the summer. Long may it continue. Number 3, I'm going to hand it over to Khalid, who's going to give you his man of the match from yesterday, and it'll probably be someone you don't expect.
Number 3, my man of the match for last night. It's not an outfield player, although they all played exceptionally well. In particular, Martin Ødegaard, Pepe. But on this occasion, I have to give it to our manager, Mikel Arteta. 0-0. I think we had 15 minutes to go, and he brought on Pepe for Martinelli. And then for me, the game changer, took off Cedric and brought on Nketiah. We changed the shape of the team, went to a 3-5-2, and ultimately, I believe that was a masterstroke, because that's what won us the game yesterday. We went 2 up front. The Wolves defenders couldn't cope with us, with the movement, Pepe and Saka out wide, and you have to give him credit for that. Whether you're Arteta in or Arteta out, that was a stroke of genius, and that's what I want to see from my manager. I don't want just a great manager that can motivate players. I don't want just a great coach on the training in the training ground that can, you know, drill the players and coach the players. I want a manager that's tactically aware, that can stand on the sidelines and see, look, what can I tweak? How can I change it? You know, and that's what we have. And I'm so pleased for him. And you have to give credit where credit is due. Like I said, whether you're Arteta in or Arteta out, you have to give credit where credit is due, because ultimately the manager lives and dies by his decisions. And last night, he got his decisions spot on at just the right time. So my man of the match for last night, Mikel Arteta.
Number 4, and now this is probably the only thing that concerns me out of yesterday's game, and that's Kieran Tierney. We've seen yesterday and in a couple of games more recently, Granit Xhaka playing a more advanced role. Whilst earlier on in the season, he was kind of playing that role where he was almost that left back cover for when Tierney goes up the pitch. Tierney was more limited in terms of his attacking output against Wolves. Semedo had some joy against him before Semedo went off injured. And we saw Granit Xhaka not offering that protection. Perhaps that's because Martinelli was playing ahead of Tierney and we don't feel like we need Tierney to be bombing forward as much. But in that system with Martinelli and Xhaka playing further forward ahead of him, it doesn't seem to work. Is this something you've noticed? How do you feel about Kieran Tierney right now? And do you think that Kieran Tierney, in the way that he plays, or the way that we've seen him play at Arsenal, fits into Mikel Arteta's system? Or is Kieran Tierney going to reinvent himself? And also, to what extent does Tierney's injury proneness concern you in this team? I want your Tierney theories below. And number 5, I'm going to talk about the impact of substitutes, because a lot of times Nketiah has come on and he hasn't been able to really influence the game, and Pepe hasn't had the trust of the manager, hasn't really been given the minutes. Yesterday, Nketiah got the assist, Pepe got the goal for the first one, and I know Lacazette's goal wasn't actually his goal, so Pepe doesn't get the assist, but he was the person who played that ball in. Not only did he retrieve the ball in the first place, he then played that 1-2 with Lacazette, played the ball back into him, and it was from Lacazette's attempt at goal that it went in off the keeper. The substitutions came good, and these are two players who I'm very glad, along with Lacazette, had their moment yesterday, because they need to know and they need to have that belief that they can influence games when called upon this season, because it's not going to be the last time that we call upon them to deliver something this season. It's going to be a tough run-in, and we need our substitutions to come on and make an impact. That's my 5 at 5 done. Let me know in the comments below if you think I missed anything. And as ever, thank you very much for watching. Please do hit that subscribe button, and I'm looking forward to the next game already. Top 4 has got to be our destiny. Come on, the Arsenal.